43 explosions since December 2024, escalating in power. Episode 43 sent lava 1,300 feet into the sky. Scientists say the next eruption could hit any day now, but what they are really afraid of is not another summit blast. 9 hours of eruption, 2 vents roaring in tandem, and a column of molten rock that soared higher than any in decades. Episode 43 rewrote Kīlauea's record books. Scientists at the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory watched their instruments spike as the summit unleashed not one but 2 simultaneous lava fountains. At their peak, the jets reached 1,300 feet, as measured by triangulated video and a laser rangefinder. That is higher than the tallest building in Hawaii, and nearly double the average of previous episodes. This was the 43rd eruption in just 15 months, a count confirmed by USGS logs and daily field reports. Each event is cataloged, numbered, and measured, but none had matched this scale or intensity. The fountains did not alternate, they erupted side by side, doubling the output and leaving researchers stunned. What could drive such an extreme display, and why did both vents erupt together for the first time? The answer lies in a process USGS scientists call gas pistoning. Between episodes, volcanic gas accumulates beneath the lava surface inside the vent, building pressure until it forces the molten column upward in a sudden surge. Then the gas escapes, the lava drops back down, and the cycle begins again. USGS thermal cameras at Kīlauea's south vent have captured this process repeating in bursts every 5 to 10 minutes during pauses between episodes, a rhythmic signal that the system is still pressurizing. In episode 43, that pressure reached a breaking point at both the north and south vents, almost simultaneously, something the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory had not recorded at this scale in the current eruption sequence. That synchronization doubled the eruption's output in an instant, and it suggests the 2 vents may now share a connected pathway deeper in the system, a development scientists are still actively monitoring. The search for answers begins with the hidden mechanics beneath Kīlauea's crater. Ash blanketed neighborhoods from Mountain View to Hilo, piling up 4 to 12 inches deep in some yards. Residents swept driveways clear only to watch the gray dust return with the next gust of wind. Emergency leaders moved fast. Hawaii County Civil Defense closed Highway 11 at the park entrance and sealed off the summit area, including the Kīlauea Visitor Center and Uekahuna Overlook. By midday, park rangers posted closure signs and redirected traffic, while local clinics logged a wave of respiratory complaints. With roads cut off and ashfall drifting east, families weighed whether to shelter in place or evacuate. Schools and businesses announced closures through the county alert system. The official forecast bulletin, released just days later, warned that the next eruption window, April 1st to April 10th, could bring similar or greater fallout. For many, the question was no longer if another episode would come, but how much worse it might get and whether the warning signals would arrive in time to make a difference. Inside the Hawaiian Volcano Observatory, scientists sit before glowing monitors, tracking every subtle shift in Kīlauea's summit. The tiltmeter, their most trusted tool, measures ground angle changes as small as a fraction of a microradian. When the summit inflates by more than 0.25 microradians per day and holds steady, pressure builds in the shallow reservoir. It is a silent signal that magma is rising. Alongside tilt, sulfur dioxide emissions are watched closely. If sulfur dioxide levels surge past 5,000 tons per day, the risk of eruption jumps. These 2 numbers, tilt and sulfur dioxide, anchor the USGS alert system. When both cross their thresholds, scientists know the volcano's plug slug cycle is nearing its breaking point. The pattern often repeats every 10 to 14 days, offering a narrow window to anticipate the next explosive episode. Yet the signals can mislead. Sometimes the ground swells and gas spikes, but nothing follows. Each cycle, the question lingers, is this the one that tips Kīlauea into eruption? Pele's hair, those razor-thin threads of volcanic glass, can ride the wind for miles, settling on rooftops, roads, and even water tanks as far as 15 kilometers from the crater. With every new episode, emergency leaders warn that these fibers are not just a nuisance. Inhaled, they can slice deep into the lungs, causing irritation that lingers long after the ash has settled. The risk is greatest for children, the elderly, and anyone with asthma or chronic bronchitis. But Pele's hair is only part of the hazard. Each eruption releases sulfur dioxide, building a choking haze of fog that creeps into homes and schools. When sulfur dioxide levels cross 75 parts per billion, the health limit set by Hawaii's Department of Health, breathing becomes dangerous, especially for those with heart or lung conditions. During episode 43, air monitors in downwind neighborhoods repeatedly registered values above this threshold, prompting shelter-in-place advisories and a rush on pharmacies for masks and inhalers. Civil defense bulletins now urge everyone in affected areas to keep N95 respirators on hand. These masks filter at least 95% of airborne particles down to 0.3 microns, enough to block both volcanic ash and the finest glass fibers. For families without access to N95 respirators, improvised cloth masks offer little protection. Officials stress the importance of sealing windows, running air purifiers, and limiting outdoor activity until air quality improves. The message is clear, the science is personal, and preparation is not optional. In 2018, lava from Kīlauea's Lower East Rift Zone swept through the Puna district, erasing entire neighborhoods in a matter of days. Nearly 700 homes and businesses vanished beneath slow-moving flows that advanced relentlessly, cutting off roads and forcing thousands to evacuate. For weeks, the eruption's heat and toxic gases made the area unlivable. Some families left with only minutes to spare, returning to find nothing but hardened black rock where their houses once stood. The memory of that summer remains raw for those who watched the land, along with decades of community, disappear overnight. Now, as the summit eruptions grow in strength and frequency, the question hangs in the air. Could the next migration of magma threaten these same communities again? And would the warning signs come soon enough? Modeling the next eruption now means living with uncertainty. Scientists have measured a 15% increase in the conduit's radius since late 2024, which lets more magma and gas surge upward, and also scrambles old forecasts. About 30% of recent alert bulletins have been false positives, leading to warnings with no eruption. That is why emergency planners urge every household to enroll in county alerts and keep an ash cleanup kit ready, including N95 masks, plastic sheeting for windows, and enough water for several days. The next episode could arrive with little warning or not at all. The only certainty is the need to be ready. Right now, every tremor beneath Kīlauea signals a risk scientists can't fully predict. With episode 44 looming, the line between warning and disaster grows thinner by the hour. Thanks for watching, but if this was interesting and you like volcanoes, you should totally check out this video we did recently about what is happening at Yellowstone's super volcano. I'll see you over there.